Alright, let's talk Halo Collectibles. We are now less than a month away from the release of Halo Infinite, and we are drowning in new figure and statue reveals pretty much on a weekly basis. So I just wanted to go through and show off all the new figures and statues and pops and all these kinds of things that have been revealed in the past few months or so, and just kind of give a comprehensive list of sorts of what we know right now. I'm sure I will miss a few things, and there are a few things I won't cover in this video just for time reasons, like I won't be covering any Mega Construct stuff or Nerf guns, or anything like that, but be sure to list any other items in the comments down below, and I will list as many links as I can to the collectibles anywhere I talk about them down in the description, so check there if you want to try and pre-order any of these. Also, I will be talking about a few leaks that we have for figures, and I wanted to give a huge shout out to Brian MCX on Instagram for posting them. Without further ado, let's get started. Starting with these 6.5 inch figures from Jazwares, we did have Series 3 come out, which contains Noble 6, Palmer, Chief with a grapple shot and a commando rifle, and an orange Mark 5B Spartan. And I think all these figures look pretty solid. They are out right now, kind of. You can find them at local retailers. I think I've seen maybe one of them, but it does seem like they're not very widely available, and a lot of people are still having trouble finding them. We did also get a reveal for Series 4, which is going to contain June, the Jazwares Spartan, a Halo 2 Master Chief, a Halo Infinite Master Chief, and an Enigma Spartan. And I will say on these figures, I do think they all look very good, especially the Jazwares Spartan. It has a great sculpt on it, but I do kind of miss more of the figures having the chrome visors that made the first series and some of the second series figures look so good. That I'm kind of bummed about that, so I wish more of the figures did have that. Taking that aside though, I do think these look great, the sculpts look great, the paint looks solid, and I just am still loving what Jazwares is doing, especially the variety of weapons they're giving us. I'm loving it. And we do have no release date for Series 4 yet. We do also have this 20th anniversary Master Chief figure set, which is going to be a GameStop exclusive. This contains two 6.5 inch figures, one CE Chief that looks very awesome, and yet another Halo Infinite Master Chief. These figures both look very cool. They both come with different assault rifles, obviously relevant to their different games, and interchangeable hands and sidearms, and this set is going to be $40 and currently has a December 27th placeholder release date on GameStop's website. Not sure if that'll actually be true, but you can go ahead and pre-order it right now. Let's move on to Jazwares' 4-inch World of Halo scale, where they are constantly pumping out new figures, starting with Series 3. This contains a Mark 7 Spartan with a Bulldog shotgun, Chief, an EOD Spartan with a Hydra, an Elite Mercenary with a Pulse Carbine, Hyperius with a Ravager, a Jackal Raider with a Plasma Pistol, and that's going to be it. And I love all of these figures, especially I love getting more of the banished bosses. Yes, I know people complain about getting a Chief every set, which I agree is kind of a waste, but a lot of people have kind of stopped viewing Chief as part of the set itself, so we are still getting 4 figures besides that, especially if you look at like the 6.5 inch line, and this is a solid lineup. I love getting more banished bosses. I'm kind of hit or miss with the Spartan figures, they're kind of whatever to me. I don't love these, but having Hyperius, having an Elite Mercenary that looks like that are very cool, and it's a solid lineup. And these are in some retailers right now, and a lot of people, just like the Series 3 of the 6.5 inch figures, are still having trouble getting their hands on them. And thanks to a leak, we do have our first look at Series 4 of the 4-inch figures, which right here is going to contain Chief with a grapple shot, again, an Elite Ultra, which kind of looks like a Reach design, Fred, interestingly enough, an EVA Spartan, a Grunt Mule, Escharum, and then another Chief. Ignoring the Chief thing again, I think this is pretty cool. A lot of enemies, I love the variety, like I said, Fred especially is super cool, and just keep releasing them, I love it. Just more enemies. Obviously these are from a leak, so as we've seen from the past, they can kind of change by the time they actually get officially revealed, but if this is what it's going to look like, I have no problem with this, and just keep pumping out figures. Let's get into the multi-packs. The first one is going to be Tovarus with his scrap cannon, a camo Master Chief, and Hyperius from Series 3 that we just talked about. And this is cool. Once again, love the emphasis on more banished bosses, and once again having camo variants back, just like the McFarlane days, is pretty cool. And I actually have seen this set in stores, and it is available online, so this one shouldn't be too hard to get your hands on. Next we have another 3-figure pack which contains all Series 1 4-inch figures, so this really isn't anything too special, it's just for collectors if you want every single thing. And this has been seen for a while, but I've never talked about it, so I thought I'd just mention it. Nothing really too special with this should be easily found in stores. Next we have another leak, which is going to be a pretty sweet 4-figure pack. This one's going to be an anniversary set containing a CE Chief, a CE Grunt, an Infinite Chief, and an Infinite Grunt. And this is super cool. I love all the 20th anniversary stuff they're doing, especially kind of putting in the Halo CE style. And the CE figures in this one, especially that Grunt, look great. I love how colorful they are, and I'm all for this. I can't wait to see some official pictures of this set, and I think this looks pretty cool. I'm excited. Next we have a Halo Infinite Chief and Pilot 2-pack. Both of these figures look straight from Series 1, so this also really isn't anything too special. But the Chief does come with a Spanker rocket launcher, which is kinda different. Overall, not super impressed with this. I kinda wish we would have had some other campaign characters that don't have figures yet, other than just figures we got all the way back in Series 1. But this is fine, I guess. It's just going to be a set that's an Xbox Gear Shop exclusive, and this does come with a Neon Skull weapon charm for Halo Infinite. Again, this is more just hardcore collectors. If you want every single thing, go for it. And this is set to release in February of 2022, and is currently priced at $27. We also have more new 3-figure packs, which the first one is going to contain an Elite Mercenary, a Grunt Assault, and a Grunt Conscript. And this set is cool, no complaints. Once again, all these figures are ones we've mostly seen before, or are currently rolling out with all these new sets together, but I won't complain about having more Banished sets, and the colors here, also I love, really stand out. The purple Grunt, the red Elite, I think looks super cool. And this set is currently available for $30 on Amazon. Very similarly, we do have a 3-figure pack all full of Marines, with a battle rifle, spanker, and assault rifle. Nothing to say, it's exactly what it looks like, nothing too special, also available on Amazon right now for $30. Hitting on a few more leaks, on the backs of lots of the new multi-pack boxes, we have gotten some looks at figures and sets that have yet to be released. The first one seems to be a Halo Infinite Chief and Tovarus from the multi-pack we talked about earlier, so there's a 2-pack with them. Again, nothing really too crazy with this. There also seems to be a Marine and a Jackal of some kind set. Both of these figures we've already seen, and it's probably a safe bet that both of these sets will show up around sometime soon, probably for like $20. But again, we've seen all these figures before. We'll just have to see the official packaging and just more packaging them together, so I'm fine with it. Moving on to the vehicle sets. First, we have this Shade Turret with a Grunt Assault, which looks like a pretty neat set, and it's cool to just have a Shade Turret in the scale, since that's really something we've never gotten from any people that make Halo collectibles before, so I think that's super neat. There's also this Gungoose with a Spartan Celox, and I'm excited to have a figure of this armor set, kind of taking the Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5 like look of Scout and kind of putting it as its own thing, and kind of having the Halo Reach Scout also be a separate helmet. In Halo Infinite, it seems like, is super cool. We have a Gungoose, I'm fine with it, and both of these sets have been seen in stores, but just like a lot of them, I don't believe there are any official links or pictures online yet that I know of. But don't be surprised if you see these in stores, because they have been seen a lot in physical retailers. Also, we have an EVA Spartan and a Mantis, and this thing is kind of awesome. Once again, having a vehicle we've never seen in a figure form like this, like the Mantis, is pretty cool, especially you can just tell from this picture, like the scale of it is to scale with roughly to the 4-inch figures. I think that's pretty cool. All the reviews have been pretty positive so far, people have gotten their hands on it, and this set as well has been released, and I've even seen this in person at like Targets and stuff, but it also can currently be bought on Target's website right now for $40. Rounding out the vehicle sets, we have another leak, this time featuring another Warthog just like the one we had way back when, but this time featuring Chief and the Arbiter from Halo 3, and this set also looks awesome. I really like this. Having an Arbiter in this scale is sweet, and kind of bridging the gap between the older games and Infinite by including this set is super cool, and obviously it's going to be reminiscent of, the Warthog run at the end of Halo 3, but I think this is super cool. I just may actually have to pick this one up. I'm super excited to see official pictures of it and just see a better look at this 4-inch Arbiter, because I am super excited for that. Finally, rounding off the Jazwares figures, we have a brand new type of set. It's in the same pretty much 4-inch scale as the other World of Halo figures, but now in addition to the normal figures and the vehicle sets and the multi-packs, we have what I guess I'm going to refer to as mission packs for now until we get some sort of more official name. The first one here is a Gungnir Spartan, Grunt Mule, and a Brute Warrior, in addition to a bunch of different weapons and equipment and terrain pieces. And this thing is packed. It has 30 pieces and it comes with a bunch of stuff. This is super neat. I'm all for Jazwares continuing to make more different types of sets, just keep on adding more variety like I've been talking about. And this especially reminds me of those team objectives or like generator defense sets we would get back in the day for like Reach from McFarlane. This is super cool, and I am just so happy that they keep on adding so many different types of things with what they're doing with the Halo license. And this has been seen in stores, but also seems to be going in and out of stock on Walmart's website, and the link seems like it's working sometimes, and other times it doesn't, so we'll just have to wait and see. But also, you can go out and look for this in stores, and you may have some luck finding it in physical retailers. Alright, let's move on to some statues. In case you missed it, Dark Horse revealed 2 more statues after their initial Halo Infinite one they released a while back, and here it is. And this thing looks pretty cool. It's a Halo Infinite Master Chief sporting an energy sword and using the grapple shot, and this thing looks awesome. I really like the look of this. It's definitely one of the more dynamic Chief statues we've gotten in a while. The sculpt of the armor obviously does look really similar to the other statue we got from Dark Horse, but there's some battle damage weathering that makes this one stand out a little bit more, and the statue is going to be 10.5 inches tall, and I'm a very big fan of it. This is going to be $70 as opposed to the $60 of the previous statue, and this version of the statue will be available at multiple retailers like Target, GameStop, Walmart, local comic book stores, just you get the idea, pretty much everywhere, super widely available. We also are going to be getting this variant with a red energy sword, and everything else is the same price, same dimensions, but this, just like the previous Dark Horse statue, is going to be a Best Buy exclusive. So that sucks for people that are outside the US, but see if you can kind of do your best to find someone to pre-order for you, or just get your hands on it some way, because especially I know when the other statue sold out, people were selling it for like 100 or 200 bucks, just ridiculous like scalper prices on eBay and stuff, so hopefully that doesn't happen for these new ones. And the release date of these statues is kind of up in the air, but it seems to sometime be later this year, at the end of November or in December, kind of close to the game's release. Also, 1000 Toys announced more figures after first dipping their toes into Halo with the CE Chief we got a while back, and now we are getting more, and here it is, a Halo Infinite Master Chief. The Mark 6 Gen 3 armor does look really good here. It actually looks insane. I'm really liking how they're doing the sculpt. And this figure comes with the AR, Bulldog shotgun, and an energy sword. We are also going to be getting a Diamond Previews exclusive version that comes with a red energy sword and a shock rifle in addition to the other weapons. And both versions of this figure look great, especially I love the look of the shock rifle a lot. I think it looks super cool. The original version is going to be $150 and the exclusive variant is going to be $170, and apparently both of these are actually set to release this month, so it seems like we won't be waiting too long to see people getting their hands on them. But you can still pre-order from stores like Big Bad Toy Store if you want to get your hands on these figures soon. Finishing off statue news, if you remember all the way back in March of last year, we got the news that Gaming Heads was going to be making a Halo Infinite statue, and then we saw and heard nothing all the way until recently when they finally revealed it, and it looks pretty sweet. It is Chief attacking Escharum. It looks super detailed, obviously looks like a super premium, super nice statue, and it's going to be 12 inches tall. And there are going to be a few different versions of this. The first is the Standard Edition, which is pictured right here. This edition comes with the Assault Rifle for Chief and an undamaged helmet for Escharum. Next is the Banished Edition, which comes with a blue energy sword for Chief and a battle damaged helmet for Escharum in addition to everything that comes in the Standard Edition. Finally, we have the UNSC Edition, which comes with a blue and a red energy sword for Chief, a battle damaged helmet for Escharum, a bear-headed sculpt for Escharum, and all of that in addition to everything that normally comes in the Standard Edition. And yeah, that statue looks pretty sweet. I really like this. Of course, though, it is going to cost you a hefty amount. This thing is not cheap. The Standard Edition is $530, the Banished Edition is $550, and the UNSC Edition is $570. And all of these are available for pre-order right now and are set to release in Q2 of next year. I did also want to quickly hit on a new Cable Guys controller holder set for Halo's 20th anniversary. This set contains a classic CE Chief and a CE Cortana. These both look pretty cool, and this is currently available online at Target's website and physical stores for $50. So you guys might have seen that a new collector's edition of Halo Infinite went up for pre-order on Walmart's website last week, and then instantly sold out, and I think they said that it was like limited to 10,000 editions or whatever. But again, I want to stress that this is not an official collector's edition of the game. It's just another retailer version like the EB Games one we saw a few months back. So don't worry if you didn't get one. Most of the items that come in this collector's edition, like the energy sword lamp and the plasma pistol bottle opener and things like that, can be bought separately. So if you guys didn't get your hands on it, that's fine. I just wanted to hit on that, and I'm sure we will see more versions of the game at different retailers pop up over the next few weeks before release. Also, if you guys remember Toy Fair last year, we saw a Chief helmet for Halo Infinite that Jazwares was making, and then we also never heard anything else again, but now it is finally up for pre-order, and we have press pictures, and it looks surprisingly sweet. Out of going through and getting all the information for all these figures and statues and helmets and everything for this video, this is the thing that surprised me the most, and that I actually wanted to just straight up pre-order, and I still might do it sometime soon. Especially on the stand, it looks sweet, and I think this helmet looks very good. It features sound bites of Chief from the game, 15 different weapon and HUD sounds, and working lights, and actually is only going to be $100, which is honestly a pretty reasonable price for how good this thing looks. And I just want to remind everyone this functions as both a cosplay helmet that you can use for like costumes or whatever, and a helmet to keep on display, kind of like the Halo 3 Legendary Edition Chief helmet. So if you weren't able to ever get your hands on that, this might be a good substitute, and this just looks very good, and I hope it looks as good when you actually end up getting it in your hands as it does in the pictures right now. But this thing looks solid, and GameStop's website does list the release date of this as January 26, 2022, but of course that is subject to change. I also want to hit on Nemesis real quick. If you don't know, Nemesis is a pop culture merchandise brand that is making some cool new Halo Infinite goodies. First we have a Chief bust, of course sporting his Mark 6 Gen 3 armor look from Infinite. He has an assault rifle on his back, and the top of his helmet does open up, which reveals kind of a small storage space, and this thing looks great. I was surprised by just how good this looks. It's 30 centimeters tall and just looks beautiful. Great sculpt, great paint, and we haven't really had any busts recently, so I'm all for this. I think this looks awesome. Next we have another helmet, of course this time made by Nemesis, which is actually a helmet box, so its main purpose is to store stuff in, so it's not really meant to be like a cosplay thing or anything like that, but it still looks surprisingly good for that, and I don't have any complaints with it. Finally, we have a tanker that also looks pretty sweet. But the weird thing with Nemesis is that the Nemesis website only actually distributes to wholesalers, so if you want this stuff, then you're gonna have to watch other retailers like Amazon and hope you can grab one when they do release. And there are no current prices or current release dates set for any of the Nemesis products. And to end, we of course, as always, have Funko Pops. The first one is going to be a 20th anniversary CE Chief Funko that looks pretty sweet. I especially love the CE backdrop behind it, and kind of the low-res look that they did, the 3D kind of print look they did for the CE Chief Funko, I think looks pretty cool. This is going to be a GameStop exclusive, and you can pre-order it now for $15. The release date is listed as May 29th, 2022, but as usual, that can be changed. And surprisingly, we do have a full look at Wave 2 of the Halo Infinite Funko Pops. First, we have two Mark 5 B Spartans with energy swords. One is going to be a standard pop, and one is a chase variant with a red energy sword. Also, we see a Grunt Conscript, which is super cool since it's been a very long time since we've had a Grunt pop, and we also have a super-sized Eshram pop with his gravity axe thing that also looks pretty sweet. And as customary with Funko Pops, we do have some retailer exclusives. First is going to be a Best Buy exclusive George, and second we have a Specialty Series Mark 7 Spartan. And as far as I could find, there is no set release date for these yet, and it looks like all the standard pops are available for pre-order right now on sites like Target and Entertainment Earth and stuff like that. And it seems like people are kind of finding some pre-order links for the Specialty Series one and the Best Buy one, but we are still waiting on some concrete ones. But again, just like everything else, I will leave links to what I can find in the description down below. And that is everything. I'm sure I left a few things out, like I said. I even purposely didn't cover some things, but there's just so much stuff, and it's the kind of overload that I've wanted for years, and it's just great seeing new collectibles of all different brands and prices and sizes and statues and pops, and there's just something I feel like for every Halo fan, if they want to support the game and support the brand by buying any type of collectible, I feel like there's something for everyone now, and I think that's super cool. So once again, check the description below for links to everything I talked about today, and let me know what you guys think of all these figures, statues, collectibles, pops, etc. Thank you guys for watching. Majestic Gaming.